Let me make sure we're live, and we should be. Yeah, okay, wait. We should be unmuted. We should be at least. Let me make sure. This is I didn't want to put it in the title, but this is kind of a emergency update. This is kind of an emergency update. Because Beryl, one second. Let me let the word get out. Let me let the word get out. Let me let the word get out before I say anything. But this is technically maybe a little bit of an emergency update. Okay. Because Beryl. One second. Let me let the word get out. Let me let the word get out. Okay, I want to let the word get out. This is a bit of an emergency update, everybody. This is a bit of emergency update. Beryl has intensified more than she should have. You know what? God damn it. I knew this was going to happen. I knew it. I knew this was going to happen. So Beryl, as of right now, I'm going to wait for more people. Update, everybody. This is a bit of emergency update. Beryl has intensified more than she should have. You know what? God damn it. I knew this was going to happen. Yeah, everybody, I knew this was going to happen. Sorry for cussing. But I had that feeling. I had that worst case scenario. This does not really mean worst case scenario, but this could be bad. Right now, she in a few minutes at least. Wait, let me see something, because I could be totally wrong here. But okay, yeah. Okay, so Beryl is supposed to have 60-mile-an-hour winds, and we are currently seeing at least 63-mile-an-hour winds now. So I knew this was gonna happen. I had that gut-wrenching feeling. I knew something like this was gonna happen. Knowing her, so I knew this was gonna happen. Beryl may have just intensified a bit more than she probably should have, because we are not supposed to see her be intensifying over 60 miles per hour right now. It may fluctuate, and it looks like it probably is fluctuating right now, but at the rate it's going, knowing Beryl, because she can handle shear, and she has grown pretty exponentially, but we are seeing right now, due to hurricane hunters, 63-mile-an-hour winds. But the thing is, once again, she is dealing with shear. Once again, it looks like a big shark bite that bit into her. Once again, she's dealing with shear. It may have just been a fluctuation, but if she keeps going on this rate, she could easily get 65-mile-an-hour winds. Remember, she is somewhere right over here. She's somewhere right over here, the low pressure center. And within the next few hours, she's supposed to have 60-mile-an-hour winds. Over here, yeah, 65. We're supposed to see an increase. But we're not supposed to see that much of an increase here. But once again, this could be part of the fluctuation that this hurricane, this tropical storm, will bring. But we are continuing to see also a pressure drop. Again, we are still continuing to see that pressure drop. I think it is at, try to get it near the center. Yeah, I think we're still at 997. But yes, she has a little bit kind of, gained some wind speed. So she is still intensifying a little bit. Once again, it probably is part of the fluctuation, the shear over here, because the wind speeds were found somewhere over here. And right now this area is kind of in a sheared environment, so this could be once again part of the shear. And the shear could easily ruin that. It could easily bring us back down to 60 to 59 miles per hour. But as of right now, as of 2 hours ago, I didn't really realize this because I was not watching this. But she has sort of intensified a little bit more. But at this rate, she could easily be a she could easily be at 65 miles per hour. Which, if she's at 65 miles per hour, this really could look at this really. If she's at 65 miles per hour right now, which I still doubt, I don't want to say, because it probably, I would sound like I'm fear-mongering, which I'm trying not to, which I will not do it, but I don't want to say worst-case scenario could maybe playing out here. I don't think it is just yet. Once again, it's probably a fluctuation, but she could be at 65 miles an hour right now. If she is, because we are expecting 65 miles per hour here, and she's right over here. She's not even there. She's like right over here. So if we will see 65 miles per hour right over here, then this could easily be a category 1 right over here. And then this area could potentially be a category 2. That's not a worst case scenario. It's definitely not the worst case scenario, but it is one of the bad case scenarios that very well could be playing out. Not the worst, but a bad case scenario. But once again, maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just a fluctuation in the winds that could be decreasing because of shear. This could also be because there is convective bursts happening, and in these bursts there probably is an elevated wind gust. But you know, these when they drop, when the hurricane tracker people, what are they called? The hurricane hunters. They're recording sustained winds, not gusts. So, it could have been a long gust, but that's also known as a sustained wind. So, Thing is, they just left. They really did just leave. And once this was recorded maybe an hour or so ago. I'm surprised the National Hurricane Center hasn't made them turn around. They probably will turn around again, but I think they might be running low on fuel. So they're probably going to go back to base to refuel. Then I think they may go back out there just to be sure. I don't think this is 65 mile an hour right now. I don't, because even if it is, it cannot be at that intensity easily. Definitely not easily. I mean, it can be 65 sustained easily, probably over here. But over here, it's very hard for this tropical storm to do that in a shared environment. So this is probably fluctuation. But if so, not the worst case. This, once again, not the worst case scenario. But let's say at least in a few hours, or an hour or so, or maybe 30 minutes or so, she's probably at 65. If she is at 65 miles an hour, then it would be a bad case scenario, because then it would leave more room for her to be a hurricane, right? Because a bare minimum category 1 is 75 miles an hour. So let's say over here, she's 65. She is supposed to be 65 over here, but let's say, because knowing this hurricane, let's pretend the scenario which could be playing out. Let's say she's 65 miles an hour right here. This could easily be a Cat 1 somewhere. And if that's that, then upon landfall, wherever it lands really now, over here could be a low-end Cat 2. You know what? I kind of anticipated something like this would happen. Because I know this hurricane, tropical storm, whatever you want to call it now, has defied all odds since it was created. Once again, but meteorologically speaking, it's probably just a fluctuation. It's probably just the start of maybe a bit more of an intensification. But the story should be, if I pull it up here, 54 knots were recorded. That is 62 mile an hour. We cannot round this up to 3, so this cannot be rounded up to 63. It was 62. I mean, you can round it up to 3 if you want to, but it's 62, 63 miles per hour, more than likely. Well, not even more than likely, it was recorded. So, it happened. So, that could be happening currently as of now, or since the shear is kind of getting that same environment, that it could just be gone. If bad case scenario does happen, then I kind of called it in my head, of course. I didn't want to say it out loud on camera because I do not want to be like banned for fear mongering, which I would never do. We're not going to be live for long. Once again, this is not an emergency update, because this is not an emergency by all means, but this is kind of an update that I probably should let y'all know about. Okay, one second. Let me Okay, I need English. This chatter thing, maybe I can translate it, but I do need English. I do need English, please. I needed an English channel. Let me see this for a second. I'm going to try to translate this for you. Okay. One second. Who is... Okay, so you. All right. Okay, I translated it. So the circulation center is somewhere over here. So that's a lie. It should be. It says it should be over here, but that's gargled. That because right over there is showing 1007. There's. I don't think there's no way the pressure rose by that much. There's no way the shear would kill that storm. There's no way the shear would de-intensify that storm by that much. Okay, let me just translate this for you. Okay, I will translate this. Okay, translate, and let me just delete this one so I can phone storage. Winds what against the winds of 80 miles per hour? 2 weeks for it. Am I recorded pressure? No, so I didn't record. Yeah, this right here is definitely not where the eye is, because that shows like 1010. That there's no way that's the eye. There's actually no way. Literally, that'd be nearly impossible. there's a chance that it does show 1007. So, yeah, 1007. So it is 1000. Sorry, not 1007. It's 197 millibars. I think it remained the same, or it may have increased a millibar, maybe, potentially. Actually, no, this is gargled. That's gargled. As of right now, the eye should be somewhere north of this thing, either in the track. But on the track, it shows 1008, but there's really no way. So where the eye was before it got so we have maximum wind speeds at least of 62 to 63 miles per hour. That's why I made this video, because we're kind of near. We found winds kind of near 65 miles per hour, and the eye is somewhere over here. I can't really find it right now. I'll try to continue to look for it. But we're expecting 65 to be over here. But once again, this should just because of, a fluctuation. But if there is 65 miles per hour, then there's a great chance that not worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is that this slows down even more and goes along this line. That would be worst case scenario, which seems unlikely. But a bad case scenario, there's many bad cases of scenarios to play out. And if we continue to see this increase in if we continue to see this drop in pressure, or if we continue to see the wind speeds increase, and that a bad case scenario could be starting to play out maybe. But right now, I think it is just fluctuations in the winds. It's just this. I think that's probably just part of the storm's battle with wind shear. I think that's really it. Just in a big battle with wind shear. Big battle with wind shear that may have one point intensified to 62, 63 miles per hour wind. So that is near 65 miles per hour winds. Once again, we are expecting 65 mile per hour winds right over here. So I kind of made this slide because if we see it over here, then that might be a problem. For Texas, at least. Because that case scenario may signify a Category 1 hurricane being somewhere along the lines over here. And, maybe a Cat 2 over here. That's what that would have signified, so. I don't think that happened, but if it does happen, then it would be a bad case scenario to play out. Right now, I think it currently is heading somewhere right over here. At least its track line. It's not going to make landfall there. I mean, there is a very slim chance it could. But I think this is just going to go too far east. So you can see the plane, the hurricane hunters are going back. They may refuel, refuel and come back to look at the eye again, which I think that they should do since we found 62, 63 mile per hour winds, so I think they probably should. I don't know if we're going to be getting a 5 p.m. update I think either a 5 p.m. update or 8 p.m. update. I think it's the 8 p.m. update. Anyways, we have like 10 more minutes on this live stream. So if we're going to be talking forecast, nothing has changed in my forecast. Absolutely nothing has changed in forecast. As when I ended last stream. It's the same kind of forecast. I expect this to go maybe a little bit more northernly at the track line. Sorry, maybe a little bit more easternly. Sorry. And maybe be... I'm kind of contemplating whether to keep my guess on a low-end Category 2 or not. I was going to say maybe a high-end Category 1 for my forecast, but once again, if this scenario plays out, where we could see 65 miles an hour winds before over here, then I probably would go back to the Category 2. But I don't know yet. I still think it's too far out to know, personally, what the category is. But I think we have a good guess that it's probably going to be a high-end Category 1. But once again, we did find 62, 63 mile an hour winds right near, we found it. We found that type of wind, in the storm. So it's not entirely impossible that we can maybe see an earlier Category 1 potentially over here. I think it is just fluctuation, and if it is just fluctuation, then the forecast, at least from the Hurricane Center, is not going to change. Yeah, I need more fluids in me. Okay, we still have less than 10 minutes on this live stream. Once again, it was an update live stream. It was a little bit of an urgent update live stream. But we do not know if that 62, 63 miles per hour increase was fluctuations or not. As of right now, it wasn't increased, so we do have to say that it did increase. The hurricane did increase. It did not increase in pressure. I don't think it decreased in pressure as well, but it did increase in wind. So, and the wind is what measures the category. So, at least for telling what the category is, the wind is what matters. So we did see an increase in wind. In sustained wind speeds, by the way. Sustained wind speeds. This was a fairly quick live stream. Once again, we're going to end it in like 12 minutes, 11 minutes. Until 4:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Yeah, the hurricane was 80 miles an hour. It was before it hit Mexico, it was. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. Right now, ever since it left the Yucatan, it has not even cut 70. Ever since, Jay, if you're still here, ever since it left, before the Yucatan, it was 80 miles an hour. It was near that, but ever since the storm left the Yucatan Peninsula, it has not even been near 70 miles per hour. It's like literally, it's just now getting over 60 a little bit. It's just now. So, we do expect this to be over 80. We do expect this to be 80 plus miles per hour when it's going to make landfall. That's when we do expect it. where is he predicted landing on the coast of Texas? So, this red cone, so it can be really from over here to over here. That's really from Brownsville all the way to maybe Galveston. But I'm expecting a landfall somewhere between Corpus Christi and maybe Galveston. That's my personal forecast. That's where we're expecting landfall. Intensity is a bit conservative right now from the Hurricane Center. This could be a Cat 2, but it also could be a high-end Category 1. It depends on how slow and east it moves. Personally, I think it's going to make landfall somewhere over here. That's me personally. And that could be wrong, by the way. It could be more western, but I think that it will keep moving east. The more east this moves, the more dangerous it can be because it keeps slowing down. And it would keep itself more in the warm Gulf of Mexico. The more east, the more beast. Any more questions, guys? I will happily answer them. I only have like 3 more minutes left, though. So worst case scenario, worst case scenario really is if it goes along the cone of uncertainty and lands near Galveston. That means it'd probably slow down more. That's the worst case scenario. Because if it does make landfall in Galveston, that easily could be a Category 2, maybe a very low end Category 3. But I just do not see this going to Galveston directly. I mean, I see it going more east of the track line, but I do not see this going to Galveston. Unless this tropical storm has like a miracle. I mean, it's possible, but I don't think it's going to go that much east. But Galveston, no matter what, will probably see some storm surge. Like, Galveston Bay will definitely see some storm surge. Really, no matter what. The Hurricane Center, I think, will probably update this cone because over here, like near Brownsville, we do have a tropical storm watch. So we could see this cone move a bit more kind of like this, at least for potential landfall. But really, my gut says it's gonna go a bit more east of the track line. But really, anywhere between Corpus Christi and Galveston can see landfall. I think that's a given. All right, guys, I have to go. I'll see you guys in the next one. And once again, this could be conservative. This could be once again fluctuations, But the bottom line is this hurricane, this tropical storm, did increase in winds. That potentially